Hey fellow Patriots, welcome to Hope Survival YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. I wanted to do a quick catch-up video with you. I'm in between the last video and this one. Life's been a bit crazy. Spent 3 days last weekend in Hindman, Kentucky, just outside of Hazard, Kentucky, at the Kentucky Gun and Preparedness Expo. Came home for a day and flipped things around and headed to Alabama for most of this week, and I'm on my way home at this time. I'll be home for a couple of days and we'll turn around and go back to Alabama for 4 days. So I wanted to do a quick video I'll post later tonight and kind of catch up a little bit, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be dropping a video, news break number 4. I have all the material. I just got to sit down and record it for you, edit it, and get it posted. So as I said, I spent 3 days out in Hindman, Kentucky at the Expo. It was a great time, tiring, 10, 12-hour days. And it was a good event. Got to meet a lot of new people, new like-minded folks, and taught a couple classes that went well. And as always, enjoyed that a lot. And it was great to see some of our Hope for Survival Patriots from several states in the class as well. So appreciate them attending and their support. And got to spend a lot of time talking with a new author, Chris Underwood, who you'll see an interview with him in this video. Really neat guy from up in the Ohio region, and one of my favorite post-apoc authors, Boyd Craven. I got to spend quite a bit of time over 3 days with him, talking about what he has coming out next in, I think, June is what he said. And the fact that I think I recall him saying he now has put out over 100 books over his career, and setting to Boyd's right was Kevin Craven, his son, who is a post-apoc author as well. He's new out. I think he said he's got 3 books out in the past year. So I'm looking forward to checking him out. But it was really nice to catch up with Boyd. Boyd was from a writing perspective, Boyd was an inspiration to me in 2019 to start writing and get my books out and so forth. And the nice thing about Boyd is as down to earth as a human can get, and it's much appreciated. He'll take time, as much time as you want, and spend talking to you. And so that was good. I had an opportunity to meet Creek Stewart. Some of you may not know Creek, but if you ever watch the Weather Channel, Creek is the gentleman who does the 2 to 3 minutes or so survival tips on the Weather Channel. And he's also got a lot of survivalist videos and so forth out. You can catch up to him on YouTube and also Facebook and other platforms. Angry American Chris was there. EJ from Naked and Afraid was there. He gave a great motivation speech at the Wild Game dinner night which was interesting to say the least. I think my favorite that was offered there, it was a plate full of food. My favorite had to have been the gator bites. It was really good. The wild boar was pretty good. The venison was very good. And there was some jalapeno dill pickles that was very good. The sauerkraut was very good, and the muscadine and elderberry juice that was served was excellent to go along with the dinner. Some takeaways from the expo. Again, there were a lot of people passing through. I got to sit down and spend some extended time conversing preparedness with Dr. Tracy Elder from over in Ohio, and Brother Otis from down in the Atlanta, Georgia area. He and about 5 or 6 others came up from that region, and our patriots from Calhoun, Georgia. I got some extended time with them, which was really nice because it's been a couple years since I was down in the Calhoun, Adairsville area teaching preparedness. So I appreciate the time they took to actually that we could both take time to have a conversation. So got to meet a lot of new folks, more specific over in the Johnson City, Tri-City area, which was really good, and up in the Cumberland Plateau as well. A very nice family. We got to talk some preparedness as well. Something that kind of stood out to me, two things that kind of stood out to me was there were a couple hundred vendors at the expo. It was in a sportsplex type facility, cement floor throughout. There were a lot of vendors who were selling preparedness items. Much of it was overpriced. But the thing that really stood out was the increase in the number of individuals teaching herbal and essential oil and medicinal plants. And they were very together and smart in their specialty. They taught classes also. And it was nice to have some time to talk to them. And I hope in the near future to have 1 or 2 of them come on there, Hope for Survival, Thursday night Zoom, and teach a class. So that was exciting. Another thing that stood out to me was probably 90%, and like I said, I was there 10 to 12 hours a day. Probably 90% of the people I conversed with, they were there to learn skills and learn how to better prepare their families. There was there was minimal, maybe 10% of the people was their discussions on the world, what's going on, the coming election or not, conspiracy type things. So that was exciting for me, that their head was in the right focus. And they were taking tons of notes in the classes, and though they were relaxed and enjoying their time, there was a bit of seriousness about their time spent there. They were there on a mission. I also got to meet got to spend some time with Dr. Jason Hunt from Kentucky. Hope for Survival Zoomers may recognize Dr. Hunt from being a guest on our Thursday night Zoom last April of 2023. Super guy. Had his two sons with him, and he conducted the Sunday morning campfire service, which was very well attended. So that was very nice to see. One of the things that kind of made the expo a little bit difficult was there were multiple areas with classes being conducted inside and then outside. Most of the bushcraft type classes, they were outside, and the other classes were conducted inside. The thing that made it a little difficult was they were not in, the times of the classes were sporadic and they weren't in sequence. So you may get out of one class and rush to take the next class and it'd already be 30 minutes into the class. So if there was anything that could be adjusted that would help, it would be getting all the classes time sequence in order. That would help a whole lot. So all in all, another big takeaway. I had an opportunity to talk with Creek Stewart, and he is one of the most humble humans that I've ever met, and he had a class scheduled Friday evening to end the class sessions for the day in his area, classroom 1, and the entire class was Creek's testimony of his faith, and it was wonderful. A lot of people who walk the walk and claim they have faith will not step out and speak their faith in an area that could potentially hurt them in their wallet. And Creek took that step, and it was very impressive. So I got back from Kentucky, flipped my bags, headed to Alabama. It was a short trip, 3 days, but while I was there, a Patriot friend who is not part of Hope for Survival, who Festus and I have known for about 14 or 15 years, had been trying to nail me down to have dinner with him when I'm down in Huntsville, and typically the schedule just doesn't permit me to do so. Usually weeknights, especially when I'm on the road. I spend most of the evenings either meeting with Hope for Survival people to have dinner and have conversations, or I'm working on YouTube, or I'm working on the newsletter. So I took the time out to go have dinner with him. It was about 2 hours, and we had a really good conversation on the world, where things are at. I, of course, heard what he thinks, but half of our time was spent talking about faith, and which was very nice. And we also probably spent a little more time than on other topics. We spent talking about Marburg and some other pandemics, possible pandemics that are out there. So the dinner was good, and we got back to my room and worked on the newsletter till late. So hopefully tonight I'll be able to finish knocking it out and get it ready for posting tomorrow. So I'm going to show you now a couple video clips. They're short, of interviews I got to conduct with some folks who were at the Expo last weekend. And I wanted to do more. I wanted to sit down with Otis as well. And because of the class schedules and how they were not in consecutive time sequences, it wasn't possible, and we ran out of time. But I'll show you the few that I have on here, and hope you enjoy them. And if you are someone who likes to read, I would encourage you to support these authors who are writing these post-apoc books, and they're doing it full time. They're trying to make a living at it. So give it some thought and support them. So let's get on to the videos. Hey, and in this video we have our dear friends from the northeastern United States, who we will call Person X. What's your thoughts on the Kentucky Expo?
I thought it was a really great event, actually. It was a lot more put together than I thought some of these events might be. You know what I'm saying? It feels like there are a lot of different vendors here with a lot of anything you would need. Anything you would need for bushcraft, anything you would need for a bug out bag, anything you would need for a survival kit or for homesteading. And that was the thing that I was interested in. Whenever we decided to come, it was the homesteading aspect of it. And there is so much here, from butchering to gardening to creating your own herbal medicine, all that kind of stuff. And I mean, it was really informative, and everything that you need to start something like that is here. And the people with the expertise, they're here too, and they're very open for questions, and it's very informative. And you have a group of people here who really want to educate, who really want people to really that are interested in the subject to go deeper, and there's some hands-on workshops and things like that too, in bushcraft as well as in gardening and other stuff like that too. So those were beyond my expectations. So that was really great.
So any disappointments so far?
I think if I could say disappointment, it's not really disappointment. It's one of those things where I think that if I'd had a few more handouts, you know what I'm saying? There were some that had handouts for like some of the people had like, for your bug out bag, here's a handout. Like some of the other things that were hands-on, you either had to buy the book or something like that too. There wasn't like any handout going on, so I had to take a lot of notes.
Trees are expensive.
They're very expensive. Yeah.
Printing's expensive.
It's expensive, yeah. But the beauty of it is that they did have most everybody here has a YouTube channel or a Facebook page or an Instagram or something. So they so you pick up a lot of cards with their information on it rather than the handout. But everything is there online and everything's So, but that was probably, it's not really a disappointment. It's just one of my, because I'm one of those people. I like a handout.
And if you want to know who this young lady is, you'll have to venture back in time on my YouTube channel and you'll figure it out. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's happy to see you all here. Take the time to come out and share with us like-minded people. I had the opportunity to meet a new author, Mr. Chris Underwood, and I actually purchased his two of his books last night and started reading them, and so far so good. Chris, welcome to the world of sales at Prepper Expos and Preparedness Expos, and tell us a little bit about Chris and a little bit about your books and where folks can come find you.
All right. Yes, I'm Chris Underwood. I'm from Central Ohio, near Columbus, and yes, I've written some books about a certain scenario. When you become a prepper, you start thinking about what scenario it is that you're looking to prepare for. A nuclear bomb or whatever else. But I'm more concerned about the powder grid. And so I've written a storyline, a little series about an attack on the Niagara Falls power grid. Kind of something that is it's a smaller sort of Armageddon. That is just the one grid and not everything in the country. So it makes people wonder about whether it's going to just end tomorrow, or next week we'll be back to normal. But the story just keeps on going. And the book is The Cold Winter. Power outages through the entire winter. And I've got 2 books currently out on it, and I'm working on releasing the 3rd book in June, where we feature a World War II tank transport as the main character of the story. It's currently in Evansville, Indiana, as a tourist attraction that runs by its own power.
Awesome.
And in my story, we take occupation of the ship and run it up the Ohio River, having battles all along the way. There's a really cool little story about it. And I'll be releasing the book on the ship on the anniversary of D-Day, June 6th. So I'm looking really forward to that.
I heard you yesterday. I heard you sharing with someone that you actually went and visited the ship.
Yes, I volunteered on it. I've spent a lot of time there on it. Talked with the captain and other crew members.
Cool.
And some good little stories that I've included in my book.
Awesome.
Some neat little colorful things. I try to keep things a little bit of humor involved in the story, and bring out some actual stories, a little bit of history. I bring out a little bit of Revolutionary War history, some World War II history, and include that in my storylines as well.
So if I'll put a link to where folks can go find your products in the program description box, but if you want to tell them, so if they don't go down to the bottom and read, where can folks come find you? A website or email or?
My website is authorchrisaunderwood.com. I can use my middle initial. There's another Chris Underwood out there. He had been on Survivor, so he has a little bit of a following. Yes, that's a great way, and go to my website. I'm having it worked on right now. It's kind of quirky right now, but I'm having it worked on, and I'll have a page there for all of my book tour locations. I'm going to be touring quite a bit for the summer and fall as I release this book. And I'm also going to be on the ship when it does its tour. It's going to do a tour in September. It's going to go up to Pittsburgh and Wheeling and Marietta in September. And I'm going to be on there in their little gift shop selling my book.
Cool.
And yeah, it's
That's
great.
awesome.
They're standing behind me for it. It's really neat.
Yeah, you kind of help promote each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been really good. It's been really cool.
Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, and my table is right beside of Chris, so I've had the opportunity from Friday till today to chat with Chris and get to know him better, and I would recommend his books to you for the many of you that I know who like to read this type story. So, Chris, we wish you the best, and hopefully we'll see you down the road.
Yes.
All right? All right. Thanks for your time.
All right. Thank you.
Look at all these books. For those of you not familiar, I want to introduce you to one of my favorite authors who has been a great encouragement to me for the last 5 years, the one and only Mr. Boyd Craven. Boyd, how are you, man? It's good to see you here. I was shocked, especially I walk in and you're at the table right beside of me. And
yeah,
it's like,
it's been a long time.
How awesome is this? Here's the guy who didn't know me from Adam that I just started talking to about writing in 2019, and you and Frank both were an encouragement to me and offered me some tips. And how's it going for you?
It's going pretty good. Still writing more books day by day, and bouncing between pen name stuff and post-apocalyptic stuff under my name. Life's been going good.
How many total books have you put out now?
Over 100, less than 200.
but you're able to do it. And one of the things you talked to me about in 2019 was if it's something you're planning on starting out as your sole income, roughly how many books you got to sell a year, and the hard work of doing that and getting your name out there.
Yep.
And I follow you on Facebook and read your books as well. And over the past 4 or 5 years, it's nice to see the numbers of followers, but that's hard work.
Yeah.
Name recognition and recommendations of, hey, you might want to go read this series or follow this author, and it's tough. I know you're on the road a lot.
Yeah. For the most part, I try to write every day that I can. But in the summer times, and then when I do trips like this for events, I don't get a lot of writing in, so I try to cram it in every other moment I can. And it's a lot of fun, but I'm self-published and traditionally published. When you're self-published, that means you do everything. You're the general contractor of the building process if your book was a house, for example. So you have to stay on track of every single part of it. And it does. It can be time-consuming, but it's also pretty rewarding. I mean, just finishing the book and then being able to hold it up and saying, I mean, that is such an amazing feeling. And it doesn't matter if it's your first book or your 100th book. It's just...
So how many, I know it's kind of give or take on the year, but about how many books are you putting out a year now?
6 to 9.
That's a lot of work.
A lot more, but...
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, I know January, February, and part of March, I'm doing almost nothing but 7 days a week writing.
You're kind of snowed in, though, aren't you?
Yeah. It helps that I don't have a lot to do up in Michigan, and I don't like the cold. So I stay inside at my computer.
Awesome. Who's this young man sitting beside of you?
This is my son, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
He's also an author. I have 3 titles out so far. 4th one's in editing, and I'm working on the next one as we speak.
So you have, how many you have out now?
I only have 3 out so far.
3? Have you been has your dad been an encouragement to you?
A big one. Just kind of following in his footsteps. So it's
That's awesome to hear.
some big boots to fill.
And I know your dad was by here. Was it yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was so cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the 3 generations. So, are you writing post-apoc as well?
I am. My current series is based on an EMP. It's in a shared world, in the October Fall world. I have a sub-series going right now with that, and then I started a new world entirely just the other day.
So are you doing all the road time with Pop? Pick and choose? Are you up in Michigan also?
Yeah, I'm about 30 minutes north of.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, not too far.
So what do you think of Kentucky? Have you been here before?
Yeah, I was actually at this expo last year.
Were you?
Yep. It's beautiful here.
Yeah, Kentucky's a gorgeous state.
The roads, people are nice too, so that's a plus.
Yeah, I grew up just east of here in West Virginia, and now live south of here in Tennessee. It's we have some Hope for Survival folks kind of in central Kentucky, but I love coming up to this part of the country.
Actually, we were kind of playing around.
No way.
Yeah, when you walked up, we were kind of playing around looking at things. So, I'm just saying.
Is that like a pipe dream kind of?
Maybe. It's so pretty down here, and there's, I don't know, there's always something interesting.
And you get 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And I'm not prejudiced or anything, but I kind of like basically from Lexington east. I've been across the whole state. I just like the country and the terrain, and not being judgmental, but it's kind of like the personality of the populace kind of fits that terrain, if you will. Mm-hmm. Right? And well, come on down, man. Yeah. It'd be awesome to have you down this way, and with all your travel,
it's not such a. We based ourselves out of Kentucky, Tennessee, because someday my little kids are the reason why I'm still where I'm at.
Yeah.
Little kids and family, but eventually I'm either going to take the show on the road for me, or maybe we'll find a place to, go where it's not iced in.
We love East Tennessee. We're like 20 minutes out of Gatlinburg, east, 30 miles east of Knoxville, and in 10 years, we may have had a grand total of 10 years, maybe a foot of snow.
Mm-hmm.
Now around us, they get snow, but we just don't.
Yeah.
And we love the seasons, in the fall, the autumn leaves, and much of it's a lot like up here.
Yeah. What are the mosquitoes like? Because in Michigan, we're nominating a mosquito for the new state bird. But is it that bad here, or is it better than Michigan?
Yeah, we don't really have. We really don't have a mosquito problem.
Okay.
There's no runways built yet.
Okay.
For them to land on. And where I live, we have a lot of trees around us.
Mm-hmm.
And we still. I hear more stories about bears than I do mosquitoes.
Okay.
So it's all good.
Awesome.
Well, Boyd, Lee, right? Lee? Kevin. Boyd and Kevin. The Cravens.
Yep.
Where can folks find you to buy your books? I'm gonna put this in the program description box as well.
I was gonna say you can find our books on Amazon, audiobooks on Audible, Amazon, Apple iBooks,
audio,
or iTunes.
Audio.
Yep.
Because a lot of the readers that have been reading a while now, they like the audio.
Yeah.
So
almost everything I have is in audio. All of his is either done or in production. My third one's in production for audio, and then probably this new sub-series I'm writing is also going to get in audio format. So,
I wish you the best, man.
Thank you.
You got a good guy over here to follow behind. So I know he's an encouragement to you. Thank you all for your time, and again, it was great to see you here. And blessings in your travels, safety, and lots of sales.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for your time. Okay, so there you got to see Boyd Craven and Chris Underwood and Dr. Tracy Elder sharing some thoughts on the event. So I'm going to wrap this up and head on to East Tennessee. I needed a short break. So anyway, thank you for watching. Welcome to the new subscribers over the last week. Appreciate it much. Appreciate your support. If you like this video, please hit like. If you have any comments, please leave them below. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You get tired of hearing that. Please subscribe, share, and try to help us get more folks to our YouTube channel to help us grow. And like I said, I'll try to drop a news break update in the next 24 hours. And stay safe. There's so many things that are going on right now, just creating more chaos close to home and in the country. So keep doing the great things you're doing. Keep preparing yourself mentally and with free resources. Keep the faith. Keep your feet grounded. Keep your head on a swivel. And be blessed. And most of all, don't forget to give thanks. We are blessed people. Bravo Echo out. Thank you for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. If you are new to Hope for Survival, you can check out our books at our webpage. Book 1, which is Hope for Survival, Getting You Prepared for Disasters, and Book 2, Hope for Survival, The Mindset, are both available for order on the website. We also offer the Hope for Survival football stick, which is a memory stick set up as a digital filing cabinet with files already loaded on there for you to digitally copy items such as deeds, auto transcript for ownership, wills, living wills, loans, banking information, items that if your home burned down or you had some form of a disaster, you could have all of your important papers already digitally filed on this stick. All you do is simply drag the digital file into the appropriate preset folder so that you'll have it in the event of a disaster. You have to flee your home in a hurry, or also if you're away from home and you need critical information that's personal. If you have your memory stick with you, you can put it in your computer and pull that information up wherever you may be. Again, you can find these items to order at our website, https www.hopeforsurvival.com, or you can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com, and I will try to help you out. Again, thanks for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. Hope to see you again.